Hi, welcome back to Two Kims One Pod.
One
I'm Peter
pod.
Kim.
I am your other Kim, Unji Kim.
Thanks so much for coming back. Today is a beautiful Friday. It's the summertime. I'm in my
Ooh.
tank top. For those of you who are watching, I'm so sorry I'm showing so much skin. Unji has her shoulders out.
I have my shoulders out, bums out, sun's out. Like, absolutely.
I'm ready.
We're showing.
It's totally summer, and I know it's like there's a lot of like crazy shit happening worldwide, and I just want to acknowledge that we are at the brink of something possibly nuclear.
I mean, like, the pimple is white.
That whitehead is
It's
showing.
It's showing. It's like
Yes.
it's ready to be popped. Like
Yeah.
it's like you got to start doing a warm compress on it situation.
You better not have acrylics, honey,
No.
because you might just rip.
You don't want it
that
to
bitch
bleed.
open.
You don't want it to bleed.
No, you
It's
don't
just
want to
gonna
rupture the
pop.
skin.
Yeah, we're just looking
you
to
just want it
pop.
to seep out. So we're in a dangerous space, but I do want to acknowledge that it's also summer, which means like homicides going up everywhere, and this might be our last summer. So we really have to bring it. We really have to bring it hard this summer, and I've been really like looking forward to this summer. I'm going to New York in a week to
Are you?
celebrate. Not in a week, sorry, for a week. To celebrate our 10-year anniversary. My partner and I, 10 years. Unji, can you?
Oh my
fucking
God.
believe it? That was a blink of an eye, and so slow
So
at the same.
the days
goddamn
are long and the years are short. You know,
Yes, it
Yeah.
truly is.
it's
And
one
it's
of
been
those.
since the year turned. I've been Eric and I have been really like kind of taking time to take stock whenever we can, because like the theme of the decade, it just keeps resounding, and I'm like, oh, we've done 10 years of trips, we've done 10 years of going out to restaurants, 10 years of whatever, right? And we're
Sure.
starting to like do a retrospective almost of like, oh, the best of the 10 and stuff like that. And it does feel really monumental to be together with someone for that long and to share your life for that long. And we were having a double date with another couple the other day, 14 years. And I said congrats to them, and it was the first time I meant it. You know when like people are like, "Oh, we've been together for 14 years," and I go, "Oh, congrats, that's awesome," and then you just kind of say it as
Sure.
like a thing you say.
But
But this time when I said congrats, I was like, "You did it. You muscled through, bitch. Like I know how hard it is
it is.
to continuously choose this motherfucker who pisses you off, and you want to silently off in the middle of the night."
All the time.
Yeah,
All the time.
The decibel of their voice or the other day. Can I tell you? I know you can really relate to me on this. There was no other thing happening between us. Like there was no like past like annoyances that like made this even bubble up.
Okay, so the slate was at 0.
We were at 0. We
Clean.
were actually having a very nice morning. Right?
Okay.
All of a sudden, we get like coffee through like a Starbucks drive-through. He has some points, so he's like, "I'll get it, babe." And I'm like, "Free coffee, amazing points." Like it's just a beautiful morning, right?
Yes,
So I'm
it's
like,
summertime.
it's
It's all
summertime.
happening. You know what I mean? You got
Yes.
a Starbucks. You got an ice cold coffee drink in your hand. Let's
Yes,
go.
a frappe latte. And we got 2 doodles in the bag. They have their little faces out the window. I'm like, this is life. Nothing could stop me today. And then Eric took a sip of his hot coffee and he started hiccuping. And I said, no.
No,
Shut
Get out.
up. Cut it out.
illegal.
Cut it out.
Go to jail.
I said, hold your breath. I literally
die.
turned to him and I was
Hold your breath until you die.
I said, how dare you hiccup in front of me? When I tell you, I lost all respect for my partner when he started hiccuping. I
Hiccups.
was like,
Hiccups are for kids.
yes.
For kids.
It immediately makes you sound so weak and puny.
Like you can't even handle your own breath.
Breath, the only natural thing that comes to us that you can't handle, that's your body saying, pass away. Please go.
It's your body being like, actually, we've had enough of you.
Yeah, we need a different soul because you whack. And he kept hiccuping, and then because he was hiccuping, he was breathing in air, so he was like burping at the same time. He was like hiccup burping, and I was like,
No.
I'm gonna crash this car into the median right now. I don't care about 10 years of anything. I just want to die.
I mean-
like, and he won't let me help him because I'm like, let me just scare you, because that always works, right? When you go like, ah.
Yeah.
But he hates being scared and he hates being tickled. It's his control issues. Two
Then
things
he,
I
then
love.
he should stop fucking hiccuping.
Hello?
Pretty easy fix.
Yeah. Why don't you have control over your fucking bodily functions? And it only lasted for a few minutes, but it felt like hours. And when I tell you, my mood switched so bad from having the most perfect day to I am the most annoyed I've ever been in my fucking life.
I mean, you're seeking help, right? You're looking at other people. You're like, this is surely someone is going to give me. I mean, hello?
Do you see this?
You see what's happening?
Do you see
Someone
what's
save
happening
me.
to me?
Yes. like you're like looking at like
a man
is
hiccuping.
is there police available? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
go
take
to
him
jail.
away.
Go
Truly.
to jail.
If he was of any color besides white, I'd be like, ICE. Get him.
I mean, like, truly, like it is one of those things where
I
you
have
know
so much respect.
I once woke up my husband holding a butter knife over his body, and like.
Because he hid all the steak knives.
Like I was just like, and I just remember being like, this is the thing where I was like, I was trying out a joke, but it was like came off too angry, and you know what, to the audience, touche.
A tiny bit.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I get it.
Yeah.
But it was that like, if what you're describing, like if that was your defense, right? And you described the hiccup. If there's anybody on that jury that has been in a relationship for over 10 years. You're never seeing a day in jail. Everyone gets it.
Hung jury.
Hung jury.
Immediately. Mistrial.
Mistrial.
No.
There-
Every woman and gay in there would be like, we get it.
We get it.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye. He was asking for it. We never want a victim blame. We don't want a victim blame.
You know in Chicago when he's like, lip shits. Blah, blah, there's like, there's like thing where he like was chewing his gum too loud
Yes.
and she had to kill it because
Yes.
of it. I'm like, yes, mama, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Nothing has I have not attached myself to a piece of culture more than that moment.
I mean, truly, like there's when you think about there was that I think it was on TNT. It was like a movie. It was a show called Snapped.
Oh yes, of course.
And it was, of course, and this is like precursor before murder podcasts and true crime, but this was like all about women that had snapped. And let me tell you, before like year 10, very specifically 8, 9, 10 of a relationship, it just feels so like crazy. Everything,
Right.
these ladies, like, oh my God. And now when I reflect on it, every single one makes sense. There is not.
Of course. What could you understand more than a woman who had chama so much and then just couldn't chama enough? Oh, bitch. There's
Chama, chameleon.
Chameleon.
Like it is truly
No,
like
I totally understand. I have godlike patience until you start hiccuping, and I'm like, it's like the littlest thing. It could be the littlest thing. It's like the way you like can't open an envelope. That'll
yes.
You're like ripping it everywhere. I'm like, golly, yeah.
There is sometimes when like it's stuff like that where you realize how fundamentally they're doing things wrong.
Inept, yes, and how much you have been allowing them to gaslight you. How much you have been gaslighting yourself.
And like and then in that moment realizing all the things, all the time you would have back if he hiccuped less. If he could figure out how to open up a fucking envelope.
Yeah.
Actually, we would have much more time for everything. I'd be in better shape. I'd be richer. I'd be smarter. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, we'd be billionaires. People will be coming for our necks.
If you stop motherfucking hiccuping.
Speaking of
It's
hip hop
true.
going, I think the reason why I even like that was such a thing in my mind was, and I was so sensitive to it, it was because I've been so hyper aware of my voice
Yes.
and my like mouth and throat lately because
Yeah.
I've been using it for my new job. So yeah, and it's not a new job, it's a new gig
Sure.
that I do maybe like 3 hours here and there.
It's
But
exciting.
it's really exciting. So the gig is dubbing. So like when you see foreign films and they're like there's a crazy actor that's speaking English for Jackie Chan, like that's
Yes.
what I'm doing, but for K-dramas. So and it's a K-drama on Netflix that's going to be coming out. I can't say the name yet because I signed some like crazy NDA because they're like nuts
Cool.
about that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they're literally like chopping the episodes now and sending it over so that we can dub and they could like package it and then release it on Netflix soon, right? So I play a character, like a very funny character. In K-dramas there's like the gangpe and then the henchman that's kind
Yes.
of like round and stupid
Yes.
and like loud.
Yes.
That's me.
Okay.
And I get to play this guy who's like so physical and funny that I'm dubbing over his thing. And the way this dubbing works, they're very, very specific to mouth sync. So
Oh wow.
they're making it feel very synced up to the mouth by rewriting words to, it might sound like less, it might sound a little clunkier in English, but when you see the mouth move, it's like,
I see. So it may be
So
less of
it's a
an
better
honest-
experience.
so it may be less of a honest translation.
correct.
They're sacrificing that in lieu of it syncing up and being much more of like a viewer friendly experience.
Correct. Yes. So that you're getting like more gist across as opposed to like specific jokes. And there's
Sure.
a lot of Koreans love puns.
They do.
Like salong jokes.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So do you.
I love it. I love it. I love that fucking Congo shit. And when they're doing it, we're having to translate that a joke is happening, right? But the actual like Korean pun doesn't translate.
Of course.
So we have to do our own version of a pun that translates pun wise,
Sure.
but that doesn't like contextually maybe like fit.
So you're
You know?
like you're really more translating it for the
No,
it's
all the
spirit.
translation's done.
Okay.
I'm doing the dubbing, the voice
Sure.
of it. But
the
sometimes
translation-
like the when it comes over with the translation, it's not syncing really great.
Okay.
Sometimes it's like perfect, and sometimes it's like there's like 4 syllables here, and you're only saying like a 1 syllable word. So we have to like think of different words, and because it's Korean,
Sure.
and my director's Korean, my friend Jay Lee, shout out Jay Lee.
Hey,
He got
Jay
me the
Lee.
job. And he and I did CBS Showcase together. I know. What a world, right?
What a world,
Anyway,
yeah.
so he's directing this whole series, and he brought me into audition for this one role. And because we're both Korean, we're telling each other, hey, this doesn't make sense here, right? Like, what is she saying in Korean? Oh, chaemyeon. Chaemyeon means something face. It's like, no, that's literally what it means. But what chaemyeon really means is like a reputation.
Sure.
So it's like saying something face in there, but it's like what it really ought to mean is like you're ruining my reputation.
Right.
So let's say reputation here because that's like reputation, 4 syllables, and we could fit that in better here than saying like my face value, which is like translated almost literally.
Okay.
And you're like, wait, let's catch that and put a different word. So like the fact that we're both Korean American and we do know Korean really helps in the way we do this dubbing job because we can like substitute different words that we understand as Korean Americans, like vocabularically, if that's a word. Is that a word? That is one of the words we put in there. It was like a lot of syllables. So like,
Vocabularically?
vocabularically.
It's like a crazy suffix to add to that. Okay.
Unnecessary of a suffix to add that. But isn't that cool? Because
It
like
is, yeah.
because you know the other language, you're
Sure.
able to perform it better.
Yeah, I mean, but it's also with the syncing of like the mouth feel of it, I guess, is sort
Yeah.
of, I will say that I guess, when I watch stuff, or and especially if it's dubbed, I have noticed things like that. Like the dubbing of it is like, I guess now that you say that, of course, that's why they wanted the mouth thing to make more sense.
Right.
Probably because like people like, because old kung fu movies were always like, you know what I mean? There's like a whole improv game about that.
Yes, yes,
Right?
absolutely.
Lampooning that. So that makes sense. I will say now that means that the translation is less true or honest or faithful. Maybe that's the word. But that means that at least for you, it's a bit of like you have to take almost poetic license.
Yes.
Like you're understanding the spirit of the phrase or the word.
essence.
Yes.
Yes, correct.
So
Yes.
then now you're applying sort of like translating that into this, not a direct or even a faithful translation, but something that is in the spirit in the
Right.
same way.
And I have to do all the mannerisms that the actor has done. So if he's walking down the street, I have to walk down the street and
Make your
sound
noises
like- yes, because he's making noises.
that are in Korean.
No, like breathing noises. So
Sure,
like
that
they
are more
can't use his breathing noises and then mix my language, right? So like I have to cover ADR his breathing and his like efforts, like
Wow.
because yeah. it's like there's fighting, so
Yeah.
I have to be like and the way he's doing it. So
Sure.
like if he's like smiling through it, I have to smile, and that's something I learned because like you hear that through
Smile.
your mouth.
Yes.
You hear through gritted,
Yes.
like the way he's making his facial impression, like
Mm-hmm.
you have to do it too. Like the phrase "싱글벙글" in Korean, he's like, 그럼요.
Yeah.
But I would say like, of course,
Yeah.
But like if I say of course, it doesn't sound like that. I have to be like, of course.
Yeah.
And like most people who are just listening to are like, "What the fuck are you doing?" But if you're
But
watching,
you can hear
on
it.
YouTube,
You can actually hear it.
because
Yeah.
your voice is the microphone is so sensitive
Mm-hmm.
that it's hearing your head turning back and forth.
Yes.
That's what they're looking for. I never realized that. She was like, "Hey, when you get up a little behind the mic so that it feels like you're coming from here like that?"
Yes.
And I'm like, "Oh, I thought someone was like mixing that." And she was like, "No, we have to record it the way
Yeah.
and then we have to send it." And I'm like, "Oh shit." And it's so breakneck speed the way they send the episodes. So this is the biggest thing that I'm struggling with. And I do think because I'm Korean, it is helping. Otherwise, I'd be really struggling. But we don't get sides.
Huh?
Like, we don't get to make actor choices. We have to cold read. Yeah, bitch. The thing I'm literally the worst at doing is cold reading.
Cold reading these dubs and having, but you're
And getting paid by hour. So if you don't, like me, I'm bad at cold reads.
Yeah.
So I'm like stretching the hours and I'm not getting all the work done. Like this last session, I was 2 things behind.
Yeah.
And I was so fucking embarrassed because like they were like, "Okay, let's take it again, but like you have to move. Remember, like you're moving."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Fuck, I forgot that I have to like do the things he's
Yes. But are you watching
And I'm
it?
cold read. Yeah, they're showing it to me
Okay.
on the screen, and there's like a red band,
Yeah.
and the words scroll across.
Yeah.
And the words are like written like in like script. So like if the mouth is like like this,
Yeah.
they made me say strong, and like you have to like
Yeah.
stretch out stronger so that it matches like that, right? So like it's just like unnatural way to do anything, and at the same time you can't make a choice for your character,
No,
Like,
because they've made the choice.
right? And you
They've
just have
made
to
the choice.
copy it.
Yes.
But I'm
But it's
like,
not a control. It's not a control. It's not a control V.
it's not.
It's
It's
not-
very like nuanced. It's
Yeah.
hard, and so I'm like,
It's a control V with an italic. Like it's sort of
yes, yeah, subscript.
yeah. Because it is truly at least with the voiceover stuff that you have to do. I just took a class. It's so funny that you say this. And in the class, the coach was saying this very thing, that you do have to, there's this idea, especially when you're I will say this, if there is anyone that is an actor or someone that is a voiceover person that's listening, I don't know why you would be. This is a crazy podcast to listen to. But it is
there are
that
crazy voiceover actors out there.
Yeah,
They're
but
not
it's
all well adjusted. Most of them are like us.
But it is that, like, because in this era of the self-tape and just everyone submitting, that we no longer, and there is a generation of actor and voiceover actor that is accustomed to performing in a vacuum. And so you never get any feedback. You never
Right.
get that live real-time feedback or direction. And so, because we all talk about like how, you get no's, and no one is expecting a reason why they didn't get the job. Right? So the coach was basically saying that it's that, like, there is a generation of actor that just doesn't know. You have to actually act it out.
Act. Yes.
Act. And
Yes.
not
it's not
just
just doing voices. You have to emote. You have to feel the emotions. You have to make your face like have the fucking emotion that the character needs. Like, it all translates.
Because it
it's not just
emanates-
being goofy. Like,
No.
hello. Like,
Because even if you do the most goofy voice,
you
right.
have to get them through arcs, like emotional, like changes and scenes.
and it has to happen physically, because the point the coach was basically saying is the voice is also of the body, right? So you have to, it has to emanate and be inside of the body. And if you're present
Yes.
like that,
Yes.
and she described the moment where she knew that she wasn't going to be an actor, that it was when she was saying all the things, making choices, being a good actor, like all those things, but was on stage and realized she wasn't connecting
her
to
body.
it. Yeah. And she gave me that note. And I realized when I watch tape of myself, I have this issue. And it's not that I'm not being present or anything like that. You can see that I'm like doing the jokes
Doing
and
the thing.
doing the thing, but it's the being in my
Physical.
body. Yes. And it is a problem that, I've had since, like, when I was younger, people thought I had a speech impediment because I spoke so quickly. And it was basically, I was saying the next word in my mind before I finished saying it in my mouth.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing
Yeah.
with my comedy. I know what the next joke I want to say is. So I've already left my body. I'm in my mind. I'm like, I'm here. Right? So
If you're in your mind, you're not being present.
yes, not and not in a way where I'm like, at least with the words, like, I feel like I'm there with the audience, and it's almost like, when you are a host, you're wanting to get you're trying to anticipate people's needs, and like they're like, oh, that person needs to have a drink refreshed. You need to have this. That's why hosts are sometimes have a tough time being at the party.
Because they're working.
They're working, and that's sort of how I feel like sometimes when I'm in a set. Right, like as a host, I'm like, oh, there's this other thing coming out. Don't worry, like, so I'm there, all that stuff, but being aware of it. And so it was very helpful to know and feel what your mouth feels like. Right, with this, like, you're so much more aware of what your face and mouth is doing.
Yeah.
It's a very valuable skill.
It is. It helps you make intentional choices. The more you're aware of what your choices actually can be.
So when you're
And-
like doing this
yeah.
like dubbing stuff, how are you? I don't know, like,
Physicalizing.
yeah.
I do the same exact physicality as my actor. So if he's like sitting leaning, like I have a high chair that I sit and lean in. And if he's like, oh, 사장님, and he's like moving his arm, I move exactly the same way at the same time. And he's like, 어디까지 온 거예요? Then I have to be like, where are we coming to? Like, I have to do the same movement. And that's really helping me understand that it's not acting, it's
Recreating.
recreating.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. It's like more acting that I'm used to, but less because I'm not playing a character. I'm playing
The
that
actor.
guy, the actor. Yeah, it's very strange. It's very, very strange. It's like, and that's why there's no sides. Like, there's no like, like how you would regularly prepare for your sides. You're like, okay, I'm making choices here. I'm like stressing this part here, blah, blah. But you don't get that, because like these are coming out like last minute. So there's no way to even get you scripts.
Sure, but I'm sure it's
And-
intentional so that you don't make choices.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
It's like just mirror the choice that's already been made in a convincing way in a different language. Like, don't bring your choices in. And I'm like, this is not the way I would normally act. And so it's like not acting in that way.
Yeah.
It's very cool. The
Are you-
money is not great. Let me just put that out there. It's boo-boo. But I think maybe because it's not acting. It's like
But it is. It's like it is a different skill though. Right? Like there's just all this poo-pooing.
way different.
There's all this poo-pooing on stuff like that's not actually but it is. It's a different skill
I
set.
really love it. It
Do you?
feels like a sport. May I say? Like,
It's craft. It's
yeah,
skill.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's like acting.
It's not art, right? It's not-
Sometimes
yeah.
for me feels so like kind of like mystical and like I'm just like here and I'm living the moment. I'm seeing and breathing. This is more like there is a step-by-step process to the thing, which makes it like, yeah, more crafty.
It's like more of like a complicated puzzle, right? You
Correct.
see the image and you're just putting in
Yes.
the correct pieces. That's like
Yes.
that's actually the sort of shit I would love.
You
yeah.
would really love
Yeah.
this. You need to get into it because, your Korean is bad, so you don't have to speak Korean.
No.
So that's the best part for you because your English is pretty
Okay.
good.
It's okay.
You would be really good for this.
Because I like that. Like mirroring, that's why I love Lego. I like puzzle because it is like sort of
Yes.
like that.
You like a map.
I like a map. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah, a legend.
I want to know that like 1 inch equals 25 kilometers. Like I like
Correct.
that.
Correct. Yeah, a logic to something.
Absolutely. Because
Yes.
you're right. The acting of it is, yeah, it's art because it's a blank page and you're bringing to it your
Yes.
own experience,
Your
your own
thing to it.
colors. Yeah. And then sometimes, this is the thing though, sometimes there are acting roles that technically are like Lego instructions. They just don't give you the instructions.
Sure. They're like, what do you think it is?
What do you think it is? And it's just like, just show me the fucking instructions.
Yeah, just tell me how to do it, bitch. The fuck? Sorry, I didn't go to Yale. Bitch, I changed mid-career. Leave me alone. Help a bitch out. Fuck.
Like you're like assuming that I couldn't do it. I could. Just tell
Yeah,
me.
just tell me. I
'Cause my choice is
totally
gonna
feel
be-
that. Yeah, I don't have many choices. I'm barely in my body.
Some might say I have almost no choice but to be here. But it's that's like there arguably there I think there are some like there are some things where I'm like, oh, this would be so helpful if the direct. That's why that's why I think
The director. Here's that.
Yeah.
That's the big thing is that my friend is directing this. He has a co-director. She's amazing too. But he's in there with her every step of the way. And number one, he's my friend. And B, we respect each other's work. And we've worked together.
already okay.
So we already have a language of work. And we already have a mutual respect of each other's craft.
Sure. Yeah.
And
Ability, talent, all that. Yeah.
yes. But I will say, to be completely transparent, when I went in that first day, or even to audition, I was worried because, he's my 동생.
Oh.
10 years 11 years younger.
Okay.
USC,
Yeah.
fancy Korean.
Yeah.
But like
won't-
immigrant like us, like store kids,
Yeah.
liquor store, the whole thing, right? So like
But his family was successful at it.
yeah, to a degree.
Okay.
And he became successful and like he'll do
Yeah.
the whole thing, right?
Oh. Yeah.
God bless.
Yeah.
So but there is that like Korean thing of like your 후배 / 동생 A is way more talented than you are as an actor and is
Yeah.
pedigreed. So there's already that kind of like
Yeah.
just a little like 짜증,
Yeah,
like
of
you're
course.
just kind of like
Yeah.
it
is a
좀
yeah.
기죽잖아.
Yeah,
right?
uh-huh.
들어갈 때. And then of course he's like gorgeous and beautiful.
Yeah.
So that also is kind of like and like he has a 주먹 face and everything.
Yeah. I mean, I can
Yeah.
imagine.
And then going in, he's much younger than you, so you kind of have this like level of like chip on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
So I go in feeling like
I'm shocked that he's alive.
the tension. So I go into the bathroom and I do some mirror exercise. I go like,
Yeah.
just relax. He knows what he's doing.
Hey, what's the mirror exercise that you're doing?
Take direction. What you take direction well.
So,
This isn't about your ego. Go in there, mind of a student. Don't react with rage.
is this an exercise or this is?
Yeah, this is a daily mantra at this point. But this is what I have to do because I know myself. I know how I am, So I have to like put up blocks for me. So I go in there, and thank God he gives me the first note, and it's so clear, it's so direct, it's so efficient, and I'm like, boom, and I made the adjustment, and boom, we get it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's what's up. When you can go in and someone can clearly communicate to you, hey, that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Do it this way. I think that'll be better. And then you do it and they go, there you go, good. Now moving on. Best feeling in the world. Because here's what. I'm not afraid to make mistakes.
No.
I just don't want to keep making them.
And then for you,
Like I want to learn.
And after take 5 to feel exasperated,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
you have not been communicating to me that I've been doing it incorrectly
Right.
at all.
Exactly. You're like, okay, can we try it
Right
again?
then? Yeah, can we try it
Yeah.
again?
One more for safety. It's like, what do you want?
What do you want?
What is it that you are not hearing? Because I can't hear. I'm clearly giving you the same thing.
I also I can't, and if you're acting, I can't see what's happening. So just
And this
correct.
motherfucker's like, hey, put that in your chest and end it down. You ended it up. And I go, great.
That's so good.
Now
that
I know
is
how to
so
fucking say
clear.
this line, bitch.
That is so
He
clear.
was like, put it in your voice. I was like, what does that mean? He was like, go into your chest voice. I'm like, bitch, thank you.
Put it in
Just
your
tell
chest
me.
and then go down.
Put it in your chest voice and end down
Down.
instead of ending up. Because you sound more commanding. Okay, bitch, thanks. God, like, is that too much to fucking ask to just tell me directly? The fuck? You...
That's the thing. It's in the thing you need to do is in the name of your job.
Direct! Give direction! Don't be like,
Have you thought about
I don't
maybe
know.
we try
Yeah,
this?
like,
Be direct.
be direct.
Be direct.
And maybe it was the Korean to Korean thing that like I just understood more, or like I don't get, but it was so direct that I was like, got you, bro.
I know.
Immediately fixed it and then moved on. I'm like, why can it not be always like this?
I mean, what you're
Why does it
describing
have
is
to
so specific and clear.
Right?
I've never.
You never hear
Never.
direction like that.
No.
And I do believe it's because of white people are so afraid to like not be polite to each other, so they're dancing around notes and direction to the point where they can't even give the note. They're like, you figure it out. It's like, why? Dude, we're burning time. Move me around. I am a chess piece. Like,
I mean, why do you think you can hurt my feelings? Like, why do you think you're so important?
bitch, do you know the rate you're paying me? I have no feelings.
I will do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, okay, I mean, like, I have to always tell people, like, you know, I have no scruples, right? That I am willing to. So if you know that about me, right, I am willing to debase myself in ways that are truly ugly.
Yeah. I mean, she's been doing this podcast for 8 years.
For pennies. For pennies.
We're losing money on it.
And we're still, and yet, so grateful.
We persist.
We persist. We insist.
And we need assistance.
It's
but yeah,
true.
it's I highly recommend it to any Korean American who might be an actor to try this and try their hand at this, because what happened was I was doing my second session this week on Tuesday, and this like taller white gentleman came into the room, and I was like immediately like, who the fuck is this?
Yes.
And then Jay introduced me. Oh, he's one of the like major directors here. He wanted to just sit in, and I was like, okay. And then
Oh
we
my
were doing
God.
it. I'm
Okay.
like,
I didn't realize we were
said,
having
me,
company.
me,
Okay.
me,
Yeah. You gotta tell.
yeah.
You gotta tell the lady.
I'm
Okay.
like doing stretches.
Yeah.
And
Comb
he
your hair.
watches like, and we're in the sound booth, so I can't hear anything. But he gets up and like does some stuff
Yeah.
and whatever. He gives some notes. I adjust whatever, and then afterwards he leaves in the middle. And I go, oh, was everything okay? And he goes, and my friend Jay goes, he's directing a Korean movie, and he wrote your name down. And I go, that bitch.
Are you lying to me? I'll kill you. Don't lie
kill-
to me.
Don't ever fuck with my fantasy
Don't-
of making money.
Don't give me hope.
Ever.
Don't give me.
Ever. You saw my last episode about Store Kids? No. We love money. So,
Don't
for
give me hope.
for Koreans out there who want to do this, like, because there's so much Korean content
Yes.
that is being created,
Mm-hmm.
there's this new like sub market for dubbing, because it's not a lot of money, but it's consistent because there's so much content coming out that you're like, oh, the lower wage ends up making like a bigger wave because you're doing it more
So
consistently
yeah,
than those big jobs that you never get.
it's true.
So just want to put it out there.
Let's
Check out the
go.
dubbing space.
Step into the dub.
Step
Like,
into the dub. I love that.
truly, yeah, because like
Title of that. I think
Yes.
you'd be so good at it.
maybe. I mean, like the
I
thing
think
is,
you would. Yeah.
I do.
'Cause
I
it's
love
just
consistent
copying.
work. Yeah.
It's just copying. And like, I feel like you would experience so much joy, like doing the puzzling of that thing, as opposed to like, okay, here's the words. Now, like, live in her. You know what I mean? Like, I think for both of us, we're like, what? What you mean? And it's because we're untrained, like, you know, fucking Luddites. But like,
yes.
okay, we can't fix our age and when we started. Sorry, we didn't go to fucking Juilliard, bitch. Like, give us a break. Like, we need more help.
So let us copy trained actors into
Yeah, let them do it, and I'll just like fucking repeat it.
and then I mean it does seem like ultimately, you know, like when you do it enough,
Yeah.
I do feel like when I rehearse sides or like auditions long enough, you know, given like whatever the turnaround may be, I do find myself being able to slip into it eventually. It just takes so much
It takes
time.
so long. I know. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's that rev up.
Mm-hmm.
It's imagine like people who don't do stand up having to like rev themselves up to do sets once in a while, like once a month. How hard that would be for them.
Yes.
That's like what we're dealing with, I think. Right? Like it's
Absolutely.
just our muscle memory is just not there.
No.
Like we'll get there eventually, but like unfortunately our auditions come in like days before. they have to be turned in, not like weeks.
No.
Yeah. If we had a week,
If I had 3 days.
yeah, I would still procrastinate. To
Yes.
be completely honest. I feel like, okay, this is the thing with me in acting is like, you might call it, I thought of it as like maybe it's self-sabotage, but I do believe that I put very little effort into the acting space because I don't imagine it to be my job. I imagine it to be like a fun thing I get invited to once in a while. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I never think of it as like I couldn't imagine what Anna Kendrick's mind is like. Like, this is my job. Like, that's not, no.
I mean, the people that are really good at acting, they are truly vessels.
Yeah.
Like,
They're just like letting the spirit through them. I just don't have enough. Like, I have too much control issues for that. Like, that's why I need to be on stage with a microphone.
I don't have enough room.
No, it's dirty.
You know what I mean? I'm not a vessel. There's like barely enough. You know what I mean? There's no room.
Yeah, it's filled
space.
with rage.
Yeah, it's like there's no room.
There's no room for other emotional capacities.
So anything that may be going through me, you better expect a lot of me to be in that thing.
Yeah, if all my auditions for acting was angry, bitch, I would nail. I would.
Like, do you know how, like, for a while there, like almost every single audition I was getting was basically bisexual cunt, and it was like
work. I would book that so quick. I never get read for bisexual.
It was truly like it was always like, oh, bisexual cunt. You gotta call Angie. But it's like
with cigarette hanging out of the mouth. Yeah. Hello.
So it's absolutely like they are understanding the quality that I can bring in the acting space. Because there's I can't like pretend to be somebody. And I think you're right, because it does feel like sometimes acting feels the same way to me, where it's like, yes, it's like a sex party, or it's like, yes, I'm excited to be. But it's not. Invited. I'm not like a swinger. I'm not in that lifestyle.
I don't identify.
I don't identify. No.
It's
you know what I mean. It's just like, oh, interesting. Like, okay, thank you.
I'm mostly a voyeur.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. And if I can't, like, it's the thing that I can do is the thing that I can do, because also I will say, if I were to work very hard and like book something that would require me to like really, really act, like be present and do this. Can you imagine being on set all the time and having to do that? I couldn't.
Yeah, I'm just not good enough. Like, if I was good at it, I could imagine I would like doing that. You know what I mean? Like, I would like it. I mean, I have done it.
You're the most booked. Like, you're doing it.
What do you mean? I am
like,
not
you
booked
are.
at all.
You are acting. You are acting.
I have acted. Yes. Anyway, I have done it, but it doesn't come easily. Mm-hmm. It is work.
Yeah.
And I appreciate actors for their work.
Oh, absolutely. I could not.
Anyway, do you have anything to plug for July? This is coming out July, and we need to figure out some kind of like plan for our recordings, because like travels are happening.
This is true.
But yeah, do you have any big shows coming up for July?
For July? Oh yes, I am going to be headlining in Madison. So anyone who is in Wisconsin,
amazing,
come on out. I will be headlining the Cheshire Comedy, like basically the 6th. So like the day after, or the 5th, day after July 4th. On, I believe it's a Saturday. Come on out. I'll be doing a long hour.
Amazing.
So. Yeah,
Hell
you're interested in hearing,
and if you're fucking boring, stay your ass at home, okay?
Yeah, if you're interested in hearing sort of a lot of new material, and it's a whole thing. It's a show. Yeah. Come on out.
Ooh, exciting. Yeah. All right, cool. I don't have much going on in July stand-up wise, but I did want to give a shout out and a plug to a previous Kick-Ass Korean / friend of ours, Mina Chun.
Uh-huh.
She is an artist, and she is putting up a art exhibition / like comedy show at the governor's mansion.
Oh, cool.
On Governor's Island,
Mm-hmm.
and she has a residency there, an artist residency. So go check her website out, Mina Chun Studio. It's going to be happening in September, and I'm excited to go check it out. So shout out to Mina and all the cool Koreans doing shit out there. Thanks a lot. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.